On June 27, 1976, Air France Flight 139 took off from Tel Aviv, Israel, carrying 248 passengers and 12 crew members. For most people on board, it was just another international flight. Families were returning home. Tourists were continuing their vacations. Business travelers expected to arrive in Paris within hours. No one imagined that this ordinary journey would soon become one of the most famous hostage crises in modern history. After a scheduled stop in Athens, Greece, the aircraft took off once again. Only minutes later, everything changed. 4 armed hijackers suddenly revealed themselves inside the cabin. 2 belonged to the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, PFLP, while the other 2 were members of the German militant group known as the Revolutionary Cells. Within seconds, they seized control of the aircraft. Passengers were ordered to remain silent. The cockpit was taken. The flight was no longer heading to Paris. It was now flying toward an unknown destination. Hours later, the aircraft landed briefly in Benghazi, Libya, where it remained on the ground before taking off again. No explanation was given to the frightened passengers. As the engines roared back to life, one terrifying question filled the cabin. Where were they being taken? The answer would stun the world. The hijackers had chosen Entebbe Airport in Uganda, more than 2,500 miles, 4,000 kilometers from Israel. There, they would receive support from the regime of Idi Amin, Uganda's military ruler. What began as an ordinary passenger flight had become an international hostage crisis. And for the people trapped inside that airplane, the nightmare was only beginning. As the aircraft rolled to a stop at Entebbe Airport, passengers looked through the windows, hoping help had finally arrived. Instead, they saw armed Ugandan soldiers surrounding the plane. For many, it was a devastating realization. No rescue was coming. The hijackers had reached a place where they would receive protection instead of resistance. One by one, the passengers were ordered off the aircraft and escorted into the airport's old terminal building. The atmosphere was filled with fear and uncertainty. No one knew how long they would remain there or whether they would ever leave alive. Soon the hijackers revealed their demands. They wanted dozens of imprisoned militants held in Israel and several other countries to be released. If their demands were not met, they threatened to kill the hostages. The deadline quickly became international news. Governments across the world watched the situation unfold, while families desperately waited for answers. Then came one of the most disturbing moments of the crisis. The hijackers began separating the hostages. Israeli citizens and Jewish passengers were ordered to remain. Most of the other passengers were eventually released and allowed to leave Uganda. For those who stayed behind, the reality became terrifying. They had become bargaining chips in a deadly political conflict. Inside the terminal, days passed slowly. Food was limited. The heat was exhausting. Armed guards constantly watched every movement. Thousands of miles away in Israel, military commanders faced an impossible decision: negotiate with the hijackers, or attempt a rescue mission that many believed had almost no chance of success. Behind closed doors, one of the boldest military operations in history was already beginning to take shape. As negotiations continued, time was running out. Israeli intelligence gathered every piece of information they could find about Entebbe Airport. Former construction companies that had helped build the terminal provided detailed blueprints. Released hostages described the building's interior, the hijackers' positions, and the daily routines inside the terminal. Every detail mattered. Military planners quickly realized The greatest challenge wasn't defeating the hijackers. It was reaching Uganda without being detected. The rescue force would have to fly more than 500 miles, 4,000 kilometers, across Africa, much of it over hostile or uncertain airspace. If they were discovered before landing, the entire mission could fail before it even began. Still, Israel decided to move forward. The operation was given a name, Operation Thunderbolt, an elite assault force from Sayeret Matkal, supported by paratroopers, Golani Brigade soldiers, and the Israeli Air Force, began preparing for what many considered an impossible mission. To maximize surprise, the commandos developed an extraordinary plan. After landing, they would drive a black Mercedes-Benz, accompanied by Land Rover escorts, attempting to resemble the official motorcade often used by Uganda's president, Idi Amin. The disguise was designed to buy only a few precious seconds that could determine whether dozens of innocent people lived or died. On the night of July 3, 1976, 4 Israeli C-130 Hercules transport aircraft quietly departed. Inside, the commandos sat in complete silence. No one spoke. Each soldier understood the risks ahead. If anything went wrong, they would be deep inside hostile territory, thousands of miles from home, with little chance of outside support. Ahead of them waited one airport, one terminal, and more than 100 hostages depending on their success.